Everything good with that?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Ready to go?
Nice. So yes, we're live. Hello, my name is Tommy.
I'm Rebecca.
Rebecca Lammers. Rebecca is our expert today, and we'll spend the next 3 hours with her. And we're going to talk about YouTube and how you can be more visible, how you can get more fans, how you can create a strategy. And trust me, Rebecca is a freaking awesome expert in everything she does. I've picked the presentation already, and you don't want to miss a minute from these 3 hour masterclass. Rebecca today is going to share everything she knows about her strategies, how she grows, how she helps artists grow their channels, how she manages her artists, and she's working with people that are already famous. We're talking about people like Pink Floyd, we're talking about Phil Collins, but also small artists, 150 small artists from many countries around the world. So she knows her shit, and she's doing it right now. And this is the presentation. I'm gonna get out of the fucking frame, and I'll let Rebecca. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, Tommy. So I think, yeah. So, oh, what happened to the presentation?
Go ahead.
So I think we're just gonna start out with some of my own kind of basics today. So this is basically how to expand your YouTube audience in 100. The official title, but what I would like to talk about. Sorry, I don't know what happened to the presentation.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Okay. So I thought I would just start out telling you a little bit about me and why I'm an expert in YouTube. So I've been working on YouTube in a professional capacity for now 7 years. Crazy, it's been 7 years. But I started working on YouTube when I was working for EMI, and I was the YouTube account manager for EMI in Europe and Australasia. And I left EMI and I went to go work for a YouTube multi-channel network, or in the industry we call them MCNs. And then after that, I ended up starting working with Pink Floyd, whom I met when I was working at EMI. And so today I still manage the Pink Floyd YouTube channel, and since then I've started working with other artists like Phil Collins. I manage the David Gilmour YouTube channel. I now manage the Genesis YouTube channel, with many other indie artists and other professional artists on their YouTube channels. So that's kind of me in a nutshell and why I'm able to speak to you guys today on this. So I was planning for this presentation that we would start out with about an hour-long lecture. It'll probably just to let you know, but then we'll take a 5-minute break and then we'll come back and we'll do some more kind of case study and workshop style kind of assignment, and then take another break and then finish off with a Q&A. So yeah, and hopefully during the Q&A you guys will be able to really dig in deep, ask all the kind of questions that you want to ask me. Don't be afraid to ask me any questions. Don't be afraid to send any questions. As I'm talking, I won't be able to get to them during the first part, but I will be able to get to them towards the end. So please go ahead, ask away if it comes to your mind, and then we'll make sure that we'll get to it once we get to the Q&A at the end. So I wanted to sort of discuss about why search rankings are important. So when people go and they find videos on YouTube, quite often they're going and they're looking at the videos based on search results. YouTube.com, they're typing in a search term and they're looking for videos in that particular way. That is how most traffic is obtained on YouTube videos. Once you start building up a fan base, you'll essentially be getting repeat customers where they'll be coming back and watching and watching, and that's where you start building a fan base. But in order to actually build a fan base in the first place, you need to get discovered. And how do you get discovered? You get discovered in search rankings on YouTube. So we're going to focus mostly on that today, because I think it's the most important area to focus on as a new musician. And then if you're a bit further beyond that, we'll get into a little bit more detailed kind of information that will help you refine your search strategy. And I might throw around a few kind of terms like search engine optimization. A lot of people, they hear the word SEO, they think of Google search results, and it's very similar on YouTube. SEO, search rankings, basically it's the same thing, just two different words explaining the same thing, and it works very similar in terms of Google search results because Google owns YouTube, so they're very similar in terms of how they rank, and they're very similar in terms of how they operate as well. So I put this one example up here where I typed in the keyword search Katy Perry roar lyrics, because this is something that at the time, if you look at the search results here, you can see at the top the first video that's appearing is a music video for Katy Perry's Roar, and it's the lyrics, and it's a fan that has made that video. And then below it is the official music video, and then you don't actually get to the official lyrics video until at the bottom. But the reason that this random person who likes Katy Perry and their lyrics at the top, even though it doesn't have as many views, as the official videos, but it's still ranked at the top. And that's because when people search for videos on YouTube, in particular when they're searching for lyrics videos, people type in lyrics with an S on the end and not lyric. And within the music industry, within the record labels in particular, they all refer to lyrics videos as lyric videos. And that's why official lyric videos or lyric videos rank lower than fan videos, because the fans know what they're searching for. So just a tip here, if you ever do a lyrics video, always make sure it's lyrics with an S on the end and not lyric singular. It needs to be lyrics plural. So anyway, that's just one reason why search rankings are important. And I wanted to show you guys this ranking factors map. Now this is a little, to be honest, nobody else has since created a map like this, and it's still very much relevant. So YouTube will quite often change their search algorithm where, you know, they take into consideration number of views, number of subscribers on your YouTube video, on your YouTube channels. They take into consideration how often it's been shared on other social media platforms, even the keywords, the strength of the channel, how old the videos are, all these different kind of factors. They take into consider all of these factors when they're ranking your video in search results. And it can feel really overwhelming or really daunting, but today what we're going to do is we're really going to focus on this area on the video. And the reason we're going to focus on that area is because that's an area that you can control. A lot of these kind of things are within your control to a certain extent, but in a lot of different circumstances it's not within your control. So today we're going to focus on what specifically you can control, which is on the search engine optimization for your videos. And we'll probably cover a little bit otherwise as well. So this is kind of my recipe and my main focus. If you're starting out on YouTube, or if you've been on YouTube for a while and it's not working for you, this is my best kind of recipe for success that you can try to make sure that you get getting things in order. So there's 4 steps to optimize videos for search on YouTube. The first one is the title. So you want to write a title that explains what that video is. Really, the title is written in a way that's compelling for people to want to click on the video from the search results. 2, the description. So you want to provide a full, interesting description. Three of the keywords and tags, this is where we're going to spend our most time today, just because it's the area where you can have potentially control and also potentially get yourself found more often by potential fans, and you want to convert those potential fans into an actual fan. So we're going to focus on this area because it's very, very important. And I know a lot of successful YouTube channels who have been able to build their YouTube channel over the years, who are completely and utterly obsessed with their keywords, and they've now successfully been able to they basically make a living from their YouTube channel now, because this is the area where they've focused on the most. And then finally, the thumbnail, which is the thumbnail is the still image that appears in the search results. That is like a preview of the video. So you want to create a thumbnail that compels users to click on that video. So we'll talk more about what compels people. So first, the title. I think this is, sometimes you think it's obvious, but it's not always. But have consistent titling. So examples for a band called The Roots. This is just an imaginary band, and they've written a song called Caring. So whenever you're producing video content and you're putting music videos or other kind of videos up onto YouTube, you're going to want to make sure that it's very clear exactly what video you're creating. So just example titles: The Roots, the name of the band, dash, Caring, name of the song, and then it's official music video, or lyrics video, or behind the scenes, or official audio, or acoustic version. I mean, there's just so many different kind of variations that you can do of one video, and you should do as many variations in terms of creating the actual content as you can, especially if it's a single that you really want to push or promote. But this is the kind of standard convention, or this is best practice of how most musicians will title their videos, where they have the name of the band dash name of song. You can change it if you want to, but remember, if yours is different, then you want to make sure that it's different, consistent across. So you could very much put the name of the song first and then the band's name. You want to make sure that you did that on all of the videos. But just to start out, if you're just, recommend following this titling convention so that you're getting used to, and ideally it will help you in terms of being consistent. I mentioned a lot about being consistent on YouTube, and consistency is really key in terms of growing your fan base on YouTube. And then the last thing I want to point out is about covers. Covers, lots of musicians do covers on YouTube because it's able for them to connect with a fan base that potentially, so this other artist's fan base, ideally you want to kind of pull them in and say, oh, you guys like this music, I think you'll like my music too. And so by doing covers of those artists, that's a way of building up your fan base as well. So in terms of the naming convention or the titling for cover videos, you can do it as your artist name first, followed by the name of the song, and then in brackets, Katy Perry cover. If it's Katy Perry cover, whose cover it is. Or you can do the name of the artist who did the original song. So Katy Perry dash change to the rhythm, brackets, cover by The Roots. I've seen it done both ways. I don't really have a strong opinion on one or the other. If you're starting out, you probably would want to start out with a keyword that would be more popular, potentially. People would be searching for Katy Perry more than they would for The Roots, so you could potentially pick up on that traffic. But it's up to you, so you just need to kind of play around with it for a little bit and see what works best. So these are just some examples of bad titles. Just make sure you do put a title. Don't just upload a video and just call it video 1 or, whatever the video file name was. Like, you need to actually give it a title, because otherwise nobody's going to find your video and watch it. So just be careful about that. And then some good examples. I'm going to be showing some non-music examples because sometimes the non-music videos are have really interesting titles and the ways that they've done them. So you can see Hardo. She does vlog videos, and she went to Australia and New Zealand. So she did, hello Hardo, Australia and New Zealand. So you know it's exactly going to Australia and New Zealand, or Camp Dakota trailer, so you know that's a trailer video, and that kind of title describes exactly what is in the video. So the description, it's really important. I've put different kind of tips here, but the main thing that I would like to reiterate is that you're given 3,000 characters in order, so that's 3,000 characters including spaces, to put in as much information as you want to describe this particular video that you're uploading to YouTube. You want to use as much of that as possible. And the reason for that is that all of the information that is put into the description is also scanned and searched by YouTube's search engine. So anything you put in the description also factors into what goes into the video's search ranking as well. So you want to use all of that, like use it. Don't just put one line. You want to put a lot of information. So I generally recommend that people really focus on the first 2 to 3 lines, because that's what shows up in the search results. So you see here that there's some text here that's appearing. So those first 2 or 3 lines that appear in your description are going to appear in your search results. So you want to make sure that that information is really clear and concise and compelling in terms of getting people to click on the video, because that's the first thing they're going to see. And then if people are really interested in the video and they're watching it, they're going to click see more, and then this is called below the fold. Basically, people click see more and they'll see the rest of your description. And that's where you can really put in a lot of really useful information about who you are, what you're doing, what that video is, and how people can find out more about you. Make sure that you're putting links for potential fans to stream or download, or even gigs to buy tickets online. You want to put links to all of your social media channels on there as well. And the thing that really, it's my biggest bugbear, anytime you put a URL link, you want to make sure you put HTTP at the beginning, because otherwise the link isn't clickable, and if they can't click on it, then they're not going to go and look at your social media page or buy a ticket. Like, people are lazy, so you need to make it possible to help aid them on their journey to hopefully buying something from you. So always make sure you put HTTP on any links that you put in your description. And then also the other main thing I would use a trackable link. So a trackable link is where you copy the URL. So for example, if you are facebook.com/the roots, like that's your URL for your Facebook page, you would then put it into either Bitly or Smart URL or even Google Campaign Builder. There's lots of different free trackable link websites. You put that URL into the trackable link website, it generates a shorter URL, and then you're able to go back into that website and check how many times people have clicked on it. And that helps you in terms of figuring out how many people are actually clicking on that link and if it's in a useful position. So it's always better to use trackable links than to not use trackable links. So I'll show you some examples. So here's a video description that I recently optimized for David Gilmour. So it's very tiny. I don't know if you can read it, but I can. Yeah.
Let me jump in.
Yeah.
Because we do have a few issues with the connection.
Oh, okay.
So I guess what we need to do now is take a 5-minute break before we go into that.
Right.
And try to solve that issue, because there is something keeps breaking. I think we know what's happening.
Okay.
But let's take a 5-minute break to solve that issue, so everything's gonna be fine. Yeah. So we're gonna mute this now.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
You just keep going.
Okay. Okay. Hopefully it works this time. So I was, this might be too small, but I'm going to show you a few other examples anyway. So you can tell there's a lot of text here. I literally used all of the characters I possibly could on this one. So the first line is David Gilmour, live at Pompeii, out now, listen and order here. And I used a smart URL in order to track how many people click on that link. So that's the first thing that appears. That's the first thing that anybody sees. The next bit is really just a description of what is in the video, what's involved in the DVD, all the different kind of creative process, all the people involved in it. You can do a very similar kind of thing based on what is the content in your video. And then at the bottom, I've put here a description where it's linking to other places to be able to buy. And sorry, I cut off the last bit, which is all the social media links, which are also smart URLs. So I just wanted to pick out a few different types of examples. So this is an example from a major record label. So this is from Katy Perry video. Sorry, I like Katy Perry. Sorry. First thing is here, Get Dark Course featuring Juicy J from Katy Perry's Prism. So this is when she put out her Prism album. So there was a smart URL that they used that's right there. Notice that they all have the HTTP at the beginning so that the links are clickable. Really, really important. Don't forget that. And then lots of other kind of information. There's a link to her tour and then all of her social media links. So obviously she didn't follow my best practice advice by putting URLs, smart URLs here, but I would say putting social media links here rather than not putting them is better than nothing. And then here's an indie label example. So this was Marilyn Manson, and first line here, the album is available in stores on the date, pre-order now on iTunes, and all of the sort of smart URLs that are listed here for the album. So that's really good. And that's what you want to see for a description. And then just to sort of give you guys some perspective, this is a non-music example. So this is a clip from a football match. And you can see that they're also using smart URLs to subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow them on social media. They probably could have put additional links to other highlights clips and interviews and things like that. So just to look at other videos that you like and see how other people are doing them. I'm not necessarily saying to imitate or copy other people, but it's really good to get kind of like best practice examples and see what other people that you like are doing. And potentially that's something that you could follow that best practice advice as well. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the keywords or the tags. So when I say keywords or tags, it's the same thing. It's when you upload a video to YouTube and you're filling in the title, the description, there's also a keywords box, and this is what I'm talking about. This is really, really important, so that's why we're going to spend a good amount of time on it. So this is kind of my recipe that I have found that works. First thing is that you want to provide around 15 to 20 keywords to ensure the video is found in search results. So you want to have at least 15 keywords. And I would say, actually, if you can go beyond that, that's even better. I think the number of characters in that text box is 255, including spaces. I can't remember exactly. I think it's around there, but you want to fill that box with as many keywords as possible because that's going to help your video be found more. You want to write, so what type of keywords you're gonna write? You want to write a mix of specific and general keywords that are relevant to that video's content. So by that I mean if it's specific, as a keyword, if your song name is Somewhere Over the Rainbow, you're going to put as a keyword somewhere over the rainbow. That is going to be one of your keywords. By general keywords, I could mean by like what genre your music is, potentially also listing other similar artists to you if you're just starting out. So that's kind of what I mean by specific and general. And then also include names of people or companies in the video and the title of the video as keywords. So for example, if you were doing a Pink Floyd video, it would be Pink Floyd as one keyword. You would actually want that to be the first keyword. And then second, Dark Side of the Moon, because lots of people are searching for Dark Side of the Moon because the album is so famous on YouTube. So, okay, and then you're gonna be going back and updating them. So we'll talk more about that. Actually, it's probably good if we just go in and do an example now. But just so that you know some of the resources that I use, the main resource that I use as a YouTube tool when I'm optimizing videos or YouTube channels is this Chrome plugin called vidIQ. And you have to be using the Chrome browser. You can use Chrome on PC or on Mac. But vidIQ or TubeBuddy, they're both Chrome. Is it Chrome extensions? Yeah, they're both Chrome extensions that you can add on. They're totally free. You can upgrade to additional features if you want to, but you don't have to pay anything for them. And essentially what they do is they help you see more information that's kind of behind the scenes on YouTube. So we'll look at that. I'll show you what that looks like. And then some of the other ways that I find keywords is I'll use Google AdWords to find popularity for specific search terms. I don't use that so much anymore, just because using Google Trends seems to work a lot better with the way that I write keywords now. And also sometimes just start typing keywords into YouTube search bar and see what suggestion searches come up. Sometimes that's a really great indicator. So we're gonna do one now. I'll show you, actually let me show you the actual video so you can see what I mean. So this is a music video for David Gilmour, Run Like Hell, which is a clip from the Live at Pompeii DVD that came out earlier this year. There's the description I'm telling you about. You can see over here there's this box here and it says vidIQ Basic. So this is the free vidIQ Chrome extension that I mentioned. And it gives you all this additional kind of SEO information that makes it really helpful for you to really understand what's happening with your video and to help you improve its search ranking as well. So the main thing we want to look at here are the video tags. So you can see these are all the video tags that I've put on this video. And you can see the little number next to it is where this particular video ranks when you type in and search for that keyword. So I can actually click on this right now. And oh no, it wants me to upgrade. Here, we'll do this ourselves. So actually I'll do this. So it says David Gilmour #2. And that is the ranking it has when you actually search for David Gilmour on YouTube. So we'll just do that right now. And then you can see it's ranked #2 in the search results here. So that's what that means. And it's really useful because the second that you actually put a video live, it will show you if there's any numbers next to the keywords here that are working and are actually ranking. So if it's not ranking, then you can go back in and try different keywords and see if those rank. And you don't really know until you try. You really have to play around with it quite a bit. But the way that I wrote these keywords is, and bear in mind that the order that you put the keywords into the keyword box matters. You want the most important ones to be at the front or at the beginning, and then you want the least important ones at the end. So here I'll go back to this one. So you can see the order that I put these keywords in. So the first thing I did was I copied and pasted the title of the video as the first keyword. So that's what this is. David Gilmour, Run Like Hell, live at Pompeii 2016. First one. Second keyword, generally I go with the artist name. So David Gilmour, second keyword. Third keyword, name of the song, Run Like Hell. Fourth keyword, David Gilmour, Run Like Hell. Oh, I didn't put it. Normally the fifth keyword that I normally put is the reverse, so it'll be Run Like Hell, David Gilmour. That would be normally, because you never know if people are going to search for the song and then the artist name, or the artist name and then the song, and people do it different ways, so you want to have both options available. And then I kind of went into an album kind of theme. So the name of the album that he had most recently put out was Rattle That Lock, and then David Gilmour, Rattle That Lock, David Gilmour, Pompeii, David Gilmour Live at Pompeii, because that's his DVD that he had just recently released. And then the rest of these I actually got from YouTube Analytics, which I'm going to show you guys, and we're going to look at that a little bit later. But I went into YouTube Analytics and it showed me the main keywords that people were searching in order to find those videos, so I put those in as the last kind of half of the videos. So The Girl in the Yellow Dress, David Gilmour. Girl in the Yellow Dress is one of the names of his songs. David Gilmour Live was one of the main ones people were searching. Just Gilmour, Just Yellow Dress. In Any Tongue, David Gilmour, another one of his songs. David Gilmour, Pompeii 2016. David Gilmour, The Girl in the Yellow Dress. And then Comfortably Numb, Gilmour, Pompeii 2016, and Gilmour, Pompeii. So I know that seems like a lot, and it's a big mouthful, but it is really worth it. So I hope that kind of gives you guys an idea. So what I'd like to do now is whoever is the first person to send us a link to one of their music videos, I'd like to do a live sort of not critique, but I'm going to live keyword your video for you. And then Tommy's going to send it to me. So whoever is the first person to send me a link to their music video and they want me to keyword their video for them, then we're going to do that one right now. So I guess I'll just see whoever sends their video link first, and then we will do that one. So I'll need to look at it a little bit as well, but hopefully it would be straightforward.
Just message people, so.
Okay. Can everybody hear me okay now?
Yep.
Is that working? Okay,
Yep.
cool.
I'm just waiting in the chat now.
Okay, so while we're waiting, I'll show you guys some other examples of keywords. So here's what it looks like when you actually do it in YouTube. This is just sort of a screenshot of it. But this was one video I did for the temperance movement, and they did a performance on BT Sport, the TV channel. And so we put in BT Sport, the temperance movement, Only Friend, name of one of their songs. Did a lot of different kind of keyword experimenting. We changed this a lot. This was my first kind of attempt to see what kind of search results we would get from it. And even though on vidIQ it'll tell you immediately where it's ranking in search, I generally recommend leaving it for at least 48 hours so that you can then go into your, it takes 48 hours for the search analytics to come in to your YouTube analytics. So it's good to kind of wait 2 days, go in, look at your YouTube analytics, see what keywords people are searching and finding your videos under, and then changing them. So, do we have somebody? I guess we have somebody now, so just waiting for the link so that I can look at the video, and then we can keyword that video. Okay, cool. Do we know whose this is? Or I guess we'll find out. So this is Dozens Need Nobody official video. Okay. So cool. So you have a good title. It's a good title. And then you have a good start for the description. But we're going to look at the tags right now. So the other thing I really like about vidIQ is that there's this little button right here which allows you to copy the tags to a clipboard. So we're going to do that right now, and then we're going to put this into here. Cool. So you can see all the different tags. So, sorry, just going back, so you can see that there's dozens and dozens are ranked number 1. Okay, so just to let you know, it does not matter whether your videos, whether your keywords are capitalized or lowercase. YouTube doesn't care, or you don't need to worry about that. So I can see that there's 2 keywords, dozens and dozens with a capital letter at the beginning. YouTube is going to look at that as the same keyword, so I would actually recommend removing the second version because you don't need it. So we will do that. So let's count how many keywords there are here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 26 keywords. I'd say it's good on quantity, but not necessarily on quantity. We're definitely going to keep dozens. So based on what I just talked about, we're gonna redo this. So I would start with the name of the band. Is it a band or group or okay? Okay, so dozens. Sorry, I haven't heard of you, but I'm sure you're wonderful. So dozens. D-O-Z-E-N. Okay, first keyword, dozens. Oh, sorry. First keyword needs to be the title of the video, so that will be the first keyword. There you go. First keyword. Second keyword, dozens. Third keyword, need nobody. Fourth keyword should be dozens, need nobody. Then need nobody, dozens. Oh, sorry, I need to spell your name right. So you already have 5 really good keywords that is basically telling YouTube that this is the official music video for dozens, need nobody, because you're repeating it. It's okay to repeat in this way because you're doing it in slightly different variations, because that's how people are gonna look for you and search for you. So a lot of these other keywords aren't doing anything for you because we can see that because they're not ranking here. But at this point, because I'm not that familiar with your band, it may be that you have other videos or songs that are more popular. So let's look at that. So I've typed in dozens in the keyword search. So we have dozens, need nobody. Okay, we've already done that keyword, so that's great. And then we have Scooby Dozens. I have a feeling that has absolutely nothing to do with what you guys are doing, so we're going to ignore that one, and that's okay. I don't put in ones that has absolutely nothing to do with what you're doing. So that's great. So we're actually going to go and search for dozens, and then in the general search results, you can go over here and you can see what's happening with this particular keyword search. So you can see that it's a low search volume, which means that nobody's searching for it, which I know obviously is very unfortunate.
It's a new band.
Yeah. So, you know, over time that's going to ideally build up, but I think the good thing at this point is that if you're doing your SEO tagging correctly on your videos, then when you start getting that search volume or organic search volume from other sources as you start to gig and build up, you're going to know that all of your videos are going to be at the top of the search results right away, which is really good to have as a foundation when you're starting out. And okay, cool. So are there any other, I would want to find out, are there any other songs that they've done? Let's look at their channel. So they've done another one called The Truth, so let's put that one. So And then we'll do the opposite, the truth. And then there was another video there. What was that? Dozens Need Nobody, Mr. Mig remix. Sorry, just trying to copy that. Cool. So we'll also put that as a keyword, and then do the opposite. Need Nobody, Mr. Mig remix. Dozens. Great. Okay. One of the things I really liked from the keywords that you guys did initially do is that you put in dozens as in the misspelled version, and that's actually really good. You want to put in, because people are going to search for you when it's misspelled. And so, for example, if you were optimizing Jay-Z's YouTube, you'd probably want to put J-Z, J-Z, one word, J space Z, all those kind of variations. So we're going to leave dozens there. And as you kind of grow as a band, you may want to change that a bit, where you want to actually put, like, Dozens Need Nobody, so dozens misspelled, and the name of the song, because people may most likely search for you with the incorrect spelling. So where are we at? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10. We're missing 5. We need at least 5 more. I'm not sure why there's like or likes in your previous tags, but I can tell that you have different types of genres that you've tried doing. That's great. If you hadn't done any keywords at all, then I would have probably recommended putting in a few keywords of different genres. But since you've already tried that and you know it doesn't work, because, let's just go back here. Sorry, you know it doesn't work because they're not ranking. So you should really dump all of the ones that aren't ranking. You don't need any of those. So I'm trying to think what would be the next best thing. Because it's because it's a new band, you're really starting at the bottom. But let's try Google Trends. So if you go to Google Trends. So if you don't know about Google Trends is essentially, it shows you popularity of particular keyword searches across YouTube and Google, mostly Google, but, so we'll type in dozens, see what comes up. I mean, you can tell it's low ranking, but that's okay, totally fine. Most search places, Germany, are they from Germany? Or
Arabic Emirates.
Oh, okay, so you're getting some good search in Germany, so that's interesting. And then normally there's some search keyword recommendations down here, but because it's a relatively unused search term, that's why there's not enough search volume to produce any recommended keywords down here. The main thing I would recommend doing when you are looking at Google Trends is you want to, so these are Google search results, you want to flip it over to YouTube search. So you just click on this drop down web search and then you switch it over to YouTube search. And then you'll see the specific search on YouTube. So you're getting some traffic from the US and no others. So unfortunately there are no search suggestions from Google search, but this is definitely something that you can do. And then just trying to think, like, sorry, I'm drawing up a blank now. So what else can you try? You can try putting in, like, are there any people that are in the video specifically that you could put in? I know that you guys put in Abu Dhabi, dance ballet between ballet and break-in. I wonder, ballet, because ballet is too generic of a search keyword, and break-in, did you guys put break-in? No, let's put break-in. And let's put in ballet and break-in. So there we have 2. We can try those. And B-boys and B-girls of Abu Dhabi. Let's do B-boys and B-girls of Abu Dhabi as one keyword. It's quite specific. But I think it may work. Yeah, so we're missing 2. It might be okay to leave some of these genres at this point, just because that'll help YouTube. Even if it's not ranking based on those keywords, it's good to have those keywords associated with that video, so that as the video climbs up the search results, YouTube will start kind of pulling it into those particular searches, if that makes sense. So we'll just leave it with break dancing and let's do dance off and synth pop. And I think that's 16 now. So right, so try those keywords out, see how you go. Was there anyone that we didn't use? So we used Google Trends, we used vidIQ, and we also typed into the keyword search to see what came up. But because this band is new, it's harder when you're starting out. It gets easier as you develop. But I want to show you what happens. So once you put the keywords into the video, and it's been a 48-hour period, then you want to go into your YouTube analytics, and you want to see what kind of search you're getting on those particular videos. So sorry if I've done that really quickly. So you can go to your analytics section when you're logged in to your YouTube channel. And then you want to scroll down to the bottom and you see this box here called traffic sources. And you can see on this channel it has YouTube search. So 48% of the watch traffic is coming from YouTube search, which is great. And then 40% is coming from external. And the really great thing that you can do is you can click on the box, and then it'll show you a bit more information about how many views you're getting and that kind of thing. But the most insightful part is you click on YouTube search, and then it will actually show you the actual keywords that people are searching for videos on your channel. So here it's Louis Dodds changes. And then the other thing is changes Louis Dodds. So there you go. You see people search for both. And then just a handful of other kind of variations and things like that. So after 2 days, go to your YouTube analytics, see what kind of keywords people are finding your videos from, and you want to copy and paste these and put them into your keywords. And that is probably one of the best ways of you driving more traffic to your YouTube videos, is by strengthening the connection between the search that people are actually searching for your videos under, and YouTube will recognize that and surface those videos higher in the search results as time goes on. I think that's it on the search keywords. So we'll go back to the presentation. Yep, that was it for the keywords. We will are we doing an activity? We'll go into looking at your YouTube analytics later. I'd be interested to see what kind of search terms people are searching your videos under. And then finally, the fourth thing, thumbnails, our last thing that we're going to cover out of the 4 main things to focus on is the thumbnails. So thumbnail, again, is the image that the sort of preview image, still image that appears when people look at your video in search results. It's also the preview image that appears on your YouTube channel and in playlists. So when other people playlist your videos and when you playlist your videos. So I took a screen grab from Spinnin' Records, which is one of the biggest music channels on YouTube, and they do a lot of electronic music, and their thumbnails are kind of iconic in a way because they are always using this S symbol on all of their videos. So you can kind of see that they have a consistent kind of theme when you look at all of their videos across their channel. And this kind of consistent branding, like the brand identity for Spinnin, is one of the reasons why people continuously go back. They've built up this really great brand identity, and people know that they're producing and releasing quality music. And also some of them are really compelling. So I look at the one that says Borges Wildfire, like what's that? Is that a fire? Like, I don't know. So you kind of want to click on it. So and also looking at some non-music examples, like some people will actually like hand draw. There's a lot of different programs you can use to make thumbnails now, but kind of looking like thumbnails and lots of creative kind of ways of taking still images from the video and then writing on them and making them compelling to want to click on. And trying to think, whenever I do thumbnails, when I'm creating thumbnails, I generally, if it's people that are in the videos, I try to take a screen grab that has the most eye contact in it. So actually, I'll go back and I'll show you. We'll go back to David Gilmour. And I'm gonna show you, where did it go? So this one, David Gilmour's Rattle That Luck official music video. This one is the video that probably took me the most amount of time to select a thumbnail for. I kind of have my own personal method. I'm not going to show you because it takes 2 hours, obviously, but I watch the video. I have a Mac, so what I'll do is I'll put the video into QuickTime, and in QuickTime you can fast forward or slow down, and I'll take different screen grabs that I think could potentially be good thumbnails. But this particular one was pretty much the only one that had any eye contact in it, and it had a really, like, close-up of faces are really good. Close-up of faces with eye contact are even better. And like just watching the video in slow-mo, or more so what I do is I actually watch the video on mute so that I'm only paying attention to the visual of the video itself, and take various screen grabs that I think could potentially work, and then I put them into a picture gallery, and I actually shrink them down so that they all look like this size. I don't look at them in full screen, I look at them in a smaller screen, because that's how most people are going to look at your video, and you want to know whether that's compelling to click on or not. So yeah, that's kind of it in a nutshell, and I think that brings up, oh, am I running early? I'm running early. That kind of brings us up to the first part of the masterclass, and so if it's okay to take a break now?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So we'll take a 5-minute break, and then we'll do the next section, which is a little bit more workshop-y, and hopefully hear from you guys a little bit more. Good? Yeah? Okay. Welcome back. So I'm gonna now in the second half talk a bit more, and then we're gonna do some kind of activities so that you guys can get some more hands-on experience and knowledge. But first, I wanted to talk more about getting views and subscribers. So this is only a 3-hour masterclass. You could probably main things are, if you focus on them, they will help you get more views and subscribers in general. I mean, what we just talked about optimizing a video for search engine optimization, that is going to help you get more views and subscribers. But in addition to that, it's good to keep in mind these other 4 key things. So first one is content strategy. And I would like to reiterate that it's really important to think of a video release strategy. So what's the most important thing for you to do? I'm just trying to think. Oh, well, it ties into my next thing, but you want to be consistently releasing content, but the type of content that you need to release is quality. And I get a lot of musicians that are really conflicted. They're like, oh, I'm a musician, I should be making music, but I feel like I should be making vlogs because that's how people get popular on YouTube, that kind of thing. This is kind of how a record label releases things. It's good for you to kind of keep in a kind of a traditional kind of method, but I don't see independent artists doing this, and I think it's still a really important formula to follow. So something you can bear in mind is a 6-week video release schedule is a really good thing to bear in mind and to follow. So first week you release a still image video, so it's just the audio for a new track. Following week you put out a lyrics video. Third week is a teaser trailer for the official music video. Fourth week is the official music video. Fifth week is behind the scenes video for that music video, and sixth week is an interview with the artist for that particular video. So I kind of put these 3 as optional. You can put it down to just a 3-week release cycle if you want to. That's totally up to you. You can make it 4 weeks where you include the lyrics video up to the music video, and then you cut that off. It's really up to you depending on your resources and time. But it's something good to kind of bear in mind about building up the kind of marketing momentum for any of your releases. And then also the type of content that you're creating. This is kind of my own model of the types of videos that you can make. So you can make a cover video, a vlog, an interview, behind the scenes, official music video. I mean, this is not an exhaustive list by far, but the thing to bear in mind is that, like, if you just do an acoustic cover of a popular song and you just do that in front of a camera, that's relatively no cost and no time. So that's why it's cheaper, whereas an official music video is expensive and it's also more time. So you kind of have to consider, where's the balance? Do you have more money and less time, or do you have more time or less money, or where is the balance? So you need to think of what type of videos you can create. Be very realistic with what you think you can do, and also thinking about your budget and your time as well. And then, like I mentioned, a lot of musicians get really conflicted. They're like, oh, I want to make music videos, I'm a musician, how many vlogs should I make? And it's good to, I've generally found it to be best if you stick with 80% music and 20% vlogs if you are going to do vlogs. You actually don't have to do vlogs. You're a musician, you don't actually have to talk to anybody if you don't want to. I've seen very successful channels do that. But it's up to you. If you do want to do vlogs, just don't go overboard. You know, stick to 20% vlogs versus 80% music kind of videos on your YouTube channel. And also don't get too hung up on the non-music stuff. If you do a funny vlog and it's not perfect, don't worry about it. It's, you know, you will get better over time as you do it more. Now I say that, and then There was this artist called Bry, or there still is, this guy named Bry. This is his YouTube channel. He's been able to build up a very successful music career, but he started out as a vlogger. And he started out with this challenge where he did, I think it was like 365 things he wanted to do before he died, and he did a vlog for every single one of those 365 things. He did that over a year, and so he was able to build up a following online. And he didn't actually start making music content until a few years into his vlog channel being popular. So slightly different take, but you know, it depends on who you are at the end of the day. He wasn't actually very confident in terms of performing as an artist when he first started out, but he was confident talking to the camera and talking to a bunch of people about whatever was going on in his life or in his day. So it's very different in that respect. So it really comes down to who you are and how you want to present yourself and what you're comfortable with as well. And then the other question that I get from people is doing originals versus covers. Now, obviously, a lot of artists have gotten very popular online by doing covers on YouTube, and in a way they kind of get stuck into becoming a cover artist where they're only really known for doing popular covers, and it gets really difficult for them to transition from doing covers to originals. So it's something that you really need to sort of consider when you're first starting out. But the other thing is that you get original artists and then they end up doing covers sometimes too. So if you're really getting stuck in that becoming a cover artist mode, then I would just say, again, do the 80-20 model. Do 80% original music, 20% covers, and I think you'll be okay and you won't become known as a cover artist in that respect, if that's something that you're looking to avoid. But it is a very popular model if you are looking to do. If you are open to doing covers, it is a really great way of building up a fan base much faster than if you do originals, at least on YouTube. And then consistency. I know I mentioned this, but be sure to upload consistently on YouTube. YouTube rewards consistency in terms of SEO as well. So, for example, if you upload a video every Tuesday at 9 p.m. and that's when your fans are the most active and they're going to be waiting for your video to go live at 9 p.m. every Tuesday night, then that is really a good best practice to follow. Now, if you cannot produce a video a week, that is okay. You do not have to produce a video a week, but you need to be consistent. So it could be a video a month if you can't do a video a week, or it could be a video every other week. So it's really up to you. Again, be realistic with what you can actually achieve based on your time and your budget. And then driving traffic. So I think these are just all the different kinds of models that everybody's always done as a musician. So you can go and collaborate with another person who produces music or has a YouTube channel. Ideally, you want to collaborate with somebody who has a bigger following, and you basically will end up cross-promoting fan bases that way. So some of the other person's fan base will come over to you, and some of your fan base will go over to them, and there's a lot of cross-traffic happening, and it's a very good organic thing that can happen. Advertising, people do pay to advertise their music videos. It still happens, so if that's something that you want to try, you are more than welcome to do that. Working with influencers, who, again, people who have massive YouTube channels. I know people who will pitch tracks to big YouTube channels, and then they will basically use them on their YouTube channels, and they will get credited in the description, and then the artist will get traffic and downloads and streams off of the back of that promotion. And then, of course, there's always going to be the traditional press and PR through magazines, also online press through online blogs, and also social media. So this is not an exhaustive list. You can drive traffic from anywhere, everywhere, but these are just kind of examples to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And then finally, engaging with your online fan base. You really want to make sure that you're interacting with the people who are on your YouTube channel. So if somebody comments on one of your videos, reply to that comment, especially if you're starting out. there's a new feature on YouTube channels that's called the community tab. It's not enabled on everybody's channels yet, but if you do have it, what I've been doing and recommending so far, because it's still relatively new, is cross-posting. So if you're putting a post up on Facebook, put the same post up on the community tab on your YouTube channel. And also make sure that you're looking at comments and what people are saying about your music. If they're saying, especially if they're saying something bad, you want to reply to that. You want to say, well, actually, it's this way, or, you know, something along those lines. Just don't leave it. You want to make sure that you are engaging with them. Also, ask your fans to use your music online. So you can say, oh, you can use my music on your YouTube video, but make sure that you credit me. Or you can actually ask people to engage in a competition, or to remix your tracks, or to cover your songs, if you feel confident to do those kind of things at this point. And pay attention to what's going on in the world, so different topics and trends and things that people are engaging in. I think maybe this was a good or a bad thing. I'm still kind of indifferent, but I know a lot of people did covers of David Bowie after he passed away. A lot of people are doing anti-Trump videos on YouTube at the moment, so lots of things that are very kind of topical and relevant to what's going on in the world. Potentially you can get more fans based off of you also paying attention or having commentary on what's happening right now. And then just building those relationships online, talking to other YouTube channels, commenting on other YouTube channels' videos, and things like that. And finally, live streaming. I think a lot of people know about live streaming, but live streaming, you can actually interact with the people in real time, hear what they're having to say. It's you can do live streaming on YouTube a lot easier now than you used to, so it's definitely something worth trying out. So, I think that leads us to our first activity. And so I know we already, I'll go back to the slide, but the list of the different types of music videos, or different types of videos that you can create. I'll go back to that slide for this, but I'm going to set a timer for 3 minutes. And I want you guys to really concentrated for 3 minutes, brainstorm all the different kinds of videos that you could make for your YouTube channel. And there's no rules. Don't think, oh, I don't have any money, oh, I don't have any time. This is literally just an open brainstorming activity just to see what you can come up with within 3 minutes. And I'm going to go back to the slide. Where was it? Yeah. So this is a good place to start. What other kind of stuff can you come up with? So I want to know what else you can come up with, and you're going to get 3 minutes starting right now. So go. And you can write this on your laptop or on your computer, or you can even write it with a pencil or paper. It's up to you how you write this down, but just think, what is it that I can do? Sometimes 3 minutes seems like a really long time, and then sometimes it seems like not enough time.
So people are writing in the comments, and I'm going to read what some of the
Okay.
is, but let's keep it on.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, keep going. You still have about just under 2 minutes. have about 1 minute left. So, are you struggling at this point, or are you, keep going? Keep going, guys. 1 minute. And 30 seconds. Keep going. I'm sure you have more. Think. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Okay, and we're done. So, what did you guys come up with? Was there anything not on my list? Yeah?
Right, so what we have, there's also delay, so there's going to be more coming.
Okay.
So we have tutorials.
Yeah.
We have videos from being on tour.
Great.
We have mashups.
Yep.
We have an analysis of a song and structure.
Hmm.
We have live music videos, inspiration videos, any technical videos showing how a song is done in the instruments.
Yeah.
We have audience interviews, what people are saying about the music.
Hmm.
We have discussions about favorite songs and artists that inspired the music. The production process, what musicians do all day. We have videos of Meet My Mom, videos of neighborhood and my dog and other personal activities.
Yeah.
We have live invitation to watch a music video, something that prepares people, as a trailer.
Yeah.
People adding, and my cats, not just the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Behind the scene videos before the performance, preparation, etc. There's more coming, but there is a lot of ideas.
Yeah. It's interesting because I see a lot of people doing their own, like, old school MTV, like there was do they still do MTV Cribs? They might. I don't know.
I don't watch TV.
You don't watch TV? Oh. Well, they used to do MTV Cribs where they would go into, the homes of famous musicians and like walk around their luxury palaces and that kind of thing. So you can kind of do your own version of that. I've seen react videos, so where you get other people to watch your video and then you have like a screen of what they're watching in the corner of the video and then the person's reaction to the video that you're showing them. Those are really fun as well. Yeah, those were all really great ideas. I liked all of them. Are there any more?
Right. Yeah, there's more like tours of like this is my studio or interview with a producer.
Yeah.
Editing still photos together to give the feeling of something. Yeah, getting fans to dance to your music. And, and fan created content. Something that I really like is having the full album with the cover of that, and then on the background having videos of nature, of things that reinforce the mood of the album.
Mm-hmm. So it depends on the genre though.
Yeah, so this one works for me for instrumental music, ambient music, classical music.
Yeah.
Okay, there is also more featuring local songwriters and community members songs featuring other songs.
Yeah.
And flash mob videos.
Yeah.
rehearsals for shows. There's more coming.
Yeah, I think the other thing you can think of videos as, you can think of creating your own TV series online. So if you're doing an in the studio series, like it could be you in the studio, and you could make like 6 episodes, and each of those 6 episodes is about a different song, and you could actually probably shoot all of that in one sitting, and then you just edit it into 6 different videos, and that way you have 6 weeks worth of video content if you're uploading every week. So you can be really smart with the way that you're shooting your content. You can actually film a lot of things at one time, so that it makes it really easy for you to put it up over a certain period of time. So you don't have to do anything for a certain, you don't have to do anything because you already have all of the content. And the tour diary, you can also think of that as a series. Like if you're on tour and every week you upload a video, and it could be, you could think of the tour diary as a TV series, but it's on YouTube. And every week people hear what you've been doing on tour and that kind of thing. So those are really fun too. People like the kind of like consistency. Thinking about your YouTube channel like it's a TV channel in a way really helps in terms of you forming a content strategy with what kind of presence and branding people are going to go and look at. So bear that in mind too. But those are all really great ideas, guys. Thanks very much. Those are really good. So we have another activity. So I mentioned about doing the YouTube keyword analytics. So what I would like for people to do is to actually go and log into your YouTube channel and go to your analytics. If you want to go straight to it, you can just type in this URL, youtube.com/analytics, while you're logged into your YouTube channel. And I want you to look at your traffic sources, but in particular your YouTube search keywords. So so go ahead and look at it now, and I'd really like to know, are there any keywords that are listed there that you should be using that you didn't know about before? Like that would be really useful for you to know and then to use those in your videos. I think the other thing I kind of mentioned, I forgot to mention about keywords on your videos is that you want to use a mix of keywords that are different but also similar. So I generally, if I have 20 keywords, I'll have 10 specific to that particular music video, and then I'll have 10 that I use across all of the videos on the YouTube channel, so that YouTube knows that all of those YouTube videos are in the same channel and should be associated with each other, so they know that they're your YouTube search knows it's your YouTube videos, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you could share with us what kind of keywords you should be using that you didn't know about before, that would be really helpful. I can go back and look at the keywords that were in our channel before as well. So the way that I generally get to my YouTube channel analytics is I'll go to the Creator Studio, and then I'll click on Analytics, and then it brings up all of the information, and then you scroll to the bottom to the traffic sources section, and you just click anywhere on this box. And then again you click on YouTube search, and then it brings up the list. And bear in mind that you can always play around with the dates as well to know what period of time those keywords are being used. So yeah, are there any interesting keywords that people are sharing, or? Yeah?
Yeah, it seems that people are searching, and some people are asking where to look. I just posted the link.
Okay.
And yeah, let's give it some time. Maybe you can see something. You can explain something fresh that you saw in your analytics.
Well, one of the interesting ones that I found here is this one seems to have spiked. not it's not like it has masses of views. This is just our like a network YouTube channel. We don't use it for much anymore, but this one recently had 3 views, and you can actually click on you can click on it here, and it'll bring up that search query and then you can see there's the video, and that's why it's ranking so high is because of that keyword, and people are clicking on it and searching based off of that keyword. So yeah, a lot of people for some reason don't know about this feature in YouTube Analytics, that you can actually go and see the actual keywords that people are searching for your videos, and it's really, I think it's essential to building your YouTube channel. People are still searching for it and looking around, but it's and you can even break it down by geography. You can see where people from where in the world they're coming from, and also the dates that these particular views. You can even drill down to the device type, but in this instance it's not that's not particularly useful.
So here's a quick question. So if you find an unexpected keyword or something you didn't know, like you see this for the first time, would you go and add this in existing keywords in other songs?
Oh yeah, I would.
So what should people do once they find something interesting?
Yeah, I mean, if these are the keywords that people are finding if it's if people are searching for this, you need to add these keywords at least into the videos that they're searching, but you can also potentially add them in to all of the videos across your YouTube channel, because it's you want to have a mix of general and specific keywords, so you may want to use some of these keywords as your general keywords as well, if it's not that, for example, if you were Louis Dodds and you did the song Changes, you would definitely want to have these two keywords in your keywords on your video for that. But if you had other videos on your YouTube channel, then you would also want to add these, because these are obviously keywords that people are searching for you. So you want to create that association within the YouTube search engine that those keywords are associated with the other videos in Louis Dodd's YouTube channel.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay.
Some people are still trying to find out.
Okay. I'll let you guys you can keep looking around at that while I'm talking a bit more. So I wanted to give a few case studies of examples of things that I knew that had that I had worked on and had happened. So one of them, again going back to covers. So there was this artist, there's this artist named Sapphire, and when Adele's Hello came out a few years ago, it was the most ever. Everybody was doing covers of Adele's Hello when it first came out, and so Sapphire did a cover as well. And what happened was we were having trouble getting it ranking in search results, and so what we did was, and you can't always do this, you can only do this if you have a big YouTube channel in the first place. So if you're starting out, don't do this. But as an example, what we actually did was we went to the official music video for Adele's Hello, and we copied the keywords from it. So you can see here there was a screen grab of the keywords from the official music video. We copied them into her video, and by doing that we were able to get it ranked number 2 under the official music video in the search results for a day. And the day was all we needed, because you can see that there was this spike here when it came out. So that was a good move, but we could only do that because she had over 100,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel at that point in time. If you're a smaller artist, you can't necessarily do that, but this is just kind of, you can try copying the keywords from a cover and see how it goes, but I generally recommend adding more than what, this isn't best practice for tags. The record label is able to do this because everybody's searching for Adele already, and people will be finding her and looking at her music videos in other ways other than just organic search traffic. So they can also get away with that as well. But just something to bear in mind. Content quality. When you are producing videos, you do want to make sure that they're of a certain quality. So there's this artist in our network called Levi, and he, I don't know why, but he had some bad sort of like pixelated videos when he first started out, which was, you know, it was his first time, so he was trying things out. But then as he developed, he got a better camera. He had set up a nice little space in his room that looked really nice, and it just was way better. So quality of content does, in terms of picture, does matter. But that said, I know a lot of people who use the phone, their camera phone, like on their iPhone. Like, you can use that. There's a lot of really high quality video. Like, you don't have to go out and buy a dedicated camera to use. You can if you want to, and if you can afford it, but you don't have to. And you can actually use your phone. And there's so many really nice videos out there that I've seen that have been used by the phone. So don't be afraid to use your phone. And then, sorry, going back to covers versus original, you can, sometimes when you're trying to get discovered, or if you're trying to build up a fan base on YouTube, sometimes it's actually just about finding the right song, and I'm not going to have that answer. Only you're going to know what potentially the right song for you may be for YouTube. But I'll give you an example. I was speaking to the manager for this artist called Angelique, and they had been uploading cover videos onto the YouTube channel, and it hadn't really like done very much. And then she did a cover of Ariana Grande's Problem, and just something about that video, I think it was the right time, it was the right place at the right time, and it just absolutely blew up, and it got millions and millions of views. So, I mean, it probably has well over 25 million views at this point. So that was the one video that basically made her YouTube channel hockey stick. So it can happen. It's something to bear in mind with covers. But on the other side, it can also happen with originals. So this artist, Jack Flash. Are we live?
Should be live, yeah?
Okay. Where did it cut out?
Okay, good. Alright, we're live.
Just light.
Alright, just
Should I just do this slide again, or?
Yeah, just do the slide.
Yeah, okay. Sorry again, guys. So I'm just gonna say what I was saying. So a lot of people ask me about doing covers versus originals. So as an example, Angelique, I was speaking to her manager, and basically she had started a YouTube channel doing covers. It wasn't really going anywhere, and she ended up doing a cover of Ariana Grande's Problem, and it just happened to be the right song at the right time, and it basically blew up, and she ended up getting about 25 million views more. I'm sure she's gotten more than that by now, but she got a lot of views, and it was because of that video that her YouTube channel also started to blow up, and she got a lot of fans off of the back of that, and she got like a hockey stick kind of effect with her YouTube channel. So sometimes it just comes down to finding the right song. But then again, it may not be a cover, because this guy Jack Flash, he did very well with a Facebook video actually, and he wrote a song about his hometown, and it resonated with so many people. What happened was, when he put it up on Facebook, the video got shared so much that other people were basically commenting and tagging their friends, and it just had a snowball effect, and it kind of went viral because of that. So you can actually build a reputation based off of original music. Like, otherwise we wouldn't have any original music in the world. But it is very much possible, and he did that. And it was just something that really resonated with people. It's something that people really like. So that's why that happened. And then I was going to talk about viral videos. This is kind of an older case study. This is from 2014 now. But it's the only one that I still have detailed information on. So there was this artist named Bogi from Hungary, and she did this music video. And essentially the music video is somebody who is photoshopping her to make her look pretty. That's the name of the song. And she was just being photoshopped throughout, and it was so popular it went viral. There was an English version and a Hungarian version. But to show you the way that it went viral was actually how it was shared across online news sites. So you can kind of see the dates where originally it was shared in the local music industry website for Hungary. And then in January 2014, it got picked up by a bunch of other of these kind of like viral news kind of websites. And that's where you see this spike down here at the bottom. It just blew up over 2 days. And it got picked up by all of these ones here, and it just blew up. So that's where most of the views came from, was actually from those 2 days. And then you can see it kind of like tailed off after that, and it was just kind of low. But it's interesting to see how these kind of things work, because if one news organization picks it up, then another one will, and another one will. So it's another kind of way that has worked for some people. And then influencer marketing, I mentioned about influencers before. This is an actual case study. So I met this manager who wasn't even managing this artist, but it was I think it was a DJ based out of New York. And they basically were looking for a way to break into the UK market. So what they did was they contacted this YouTuber, Joe Weller. Joe Weller is one of the biggest UK YouTubers. If you don't know him, now you do. So he basically agreed to make a video using this song in the background. So he basically made a music video using the track. And what they did was it's him just walking around a town chatting to girls. It's not really anything more to that, but he's not really talking. It's just the song playing as the audio, and him just walking around the town talking to girls. So great thing that they did was they put a link to iTunes and Spotify right here at the top. And they did no promo for this song. They did absolutely nothing. And other than Joe Weller putting this music video up on his YouTube channel. And as a result, the song went to #1 on the UK iTunes charts. And it also went to number 28 in the UK official top 100 singles charts. And I didn't have information on how much money they made, but 100% of the sales came from the buy link in the description of the video, and that's right there. So the power of YouTube to go #1, it can happen, and it happened here. So getting really big YouTubers to use the song on their videos, it can have a very powerful impact. And I think this leads us to our final activity, and I'm gonna kind of leave it as something that you can do, and we can kind of lead into the Q&A, or we can take another break and then do the Q&A. But basically I want you guys to go on YouTube and find a YouTube channel that you like. It may be an artist that you like. It may even just be a YouTube channel that you just like looking at. Like, if you just like looking at it, there's a reason that you just like looking at it. Potentially it has very good branding presence. So look at everything that's on that YouTube channel. There's so much information that's available there, and I want you to click on everything, see where everything goes, investigate everything that's on that channel. Why is that channel successful? And you will be able, based on all the information we've talked about today, you will be able to figure out what they've done that has really made that channel successful. And there's no reason that you can't do that yourself now. So I think let's do 5 minutes on that, and potentially we can take a break too after that, or I can, if anybody has any questions at this point, we can we can answer some questions too. But it's really good to go out and look at other people's work and what they've done. You can tell where people have put in a lot of effort.
How many minutes for this activity?
5 minutes. And I'll put a timer on. And you can also do a comparison between channels. Like if you look at a channel that has 20,000 subscribers compared to a channel that has 100,000 subscribers, compared to a channel that has 500,000 subscribers, compared to a channel that has 1,000,000 subscribers, like you'll see a difference in the way that these channels are working and how they've gone about building up their presence and building up their fan base. And not everybody does it in the same way either. Yeah.
So here's an interesting question
Mm-hmm.
regarding the PR outlets you talked about before. So I saw Bored Panda.
Mm-hmm.
That is a thing where they reuse interesting content.
Yeah.
Now, Dozens, the band, they got viral in 2 weeks on Facebook. They got 1 million views.
Oh, great.
Now, Saleh is asking, how can you make sure? How can you use the news videos, these news outlets, to drive traffic to your video? Is there any other way except for having a link?
Right. Well, it depends on what kind of link. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, that's the thing, that if you do go viral, if something does surprisingly go viral, a lot of people aren't prepared when something goes viral because it just takes off. But that's where it's really important that you have a really good foundation. So you have your YouTube channel set up, you have it optimized, you have everything available for search. If you don't have that foundation in place, then it makes it really difficult for people to kind of search around and find you and really find out more about you. So you want to make it really easy. The thing I say a lot is people are lazy, and you need to make it really easy for them to find you and find out more information about you if they so want to. So including links to your tours or your to tickets or to albums or to streaming links. Like, you want to make it easy for them by putting all your social media links and your website and everything. I'd say more information is good, is better than less information. So, I mean, it sounds like they had one link. Sorry, I didn't hear about your video, but it sounds like there was one link for that one video that was shared. I would say that the more information and the more links you have, probably the better. In particular for YouTube, with Facebook it's slightly different, because they're constantly they're changing their search algorithms even more than YouTube are, for their videos that are being shared. But ideally you want to have everything in good order, so that it makes it easier for people to find you, or subscribe to you, or like your page, or whatever it is. You need to have some sort of like goal in mind, of what it is. Like, do you want more people to come to your gig when that happened? Do you want people to buy your album when that happened? Like, it's better to have a goal in mind. So yeah, we have about a minute left for the activity. So be interesting to know what you guys found, or what kind of YouTube channel you were looking at. In about 30 seconds. And we're at time. So, should we now take a break and then we'll come back and answer everyone's questions? 5 minutes. Yeah. Thanks.
Alrighto. And we're back. And we're here to answer your questions. So we've got 1 hour of Q&A. And I've got around 50 questions lined up. And then you start sending more questions.
Okay.
So, get ready.
Okay, I'm ready, guys.
Alrighto. First of all, I just want to address a few questions that have been asked right now in the chat. Because you've asked it right now, so you've got priority. But keep the questions coming. 50 is not enough. You're going to stay here till midnight, right? Okie dokie. So, first question, and thank you for your contribution in the chat. Marta. Marta has a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And she has an editor. I think she mentioned CD Baby as well. Where she handles permission to other companies, other channels to use her music. And they use that, they add films or whatnot, and the music in the background is Marta's.
Right.
How can she owns the rights of the music, how can she take advantage of that? I guess Marta's talking about monetizing that.
Right. So if you've actually assigned your rights to another company, it depends on what rights you've assigned. And sometimes when you're doing contracts, or if I know there's quite a few companies out there who will basically say, okay, we're going to take your music and we're going to try to get it on as much film and TV as possible. And you basically have given them blanket permission to say yes to anything because you want to. It's tricky because quite often with those kind of film and TV sync rights, they don't explicitly state whether it includes YouTube or not. So you should probably double check with the agent that you're working with whether it does include YouTube rights or not. The way that generally monetizing on YouTube works, when other people upload your music, you either go through a third-party distributor. So yes, CD Baby is one of those. I know that TuneCore does it. AWOL does it. There's a bunch of other kind of companies where you can just say, yes, I want you to distribute my music, including my YouTube. So they'll distribute on Spotify and iTunes and all the other download and streaming services, and they include YouTube in that. So they'll monetize anytime anybody uses your music on YouTube, including on your own YouTube channel. So that's one way of doing it. The other way to do it is if you just want to sign your YouTube rights, you can sign with a multi-channel network, or MCN for short, which is like my company. So if you were interested, you could contact us on our website and apply. We do have a minimum threshold, but not all MCNs do have a minimum with what kind of artists or YouTube channels they work with. So it kind of depends. And for my network, we evaluate on a case-by-case basis. So yeah, that's generally how it works. You can either go through a distributor, or if you're signed with a record label, the record label would do it for you, or you can do it with YouTube MCN.
So also Marta is talking about how she can get more views, I guess, linking these videos back to her channel. Is there any strategy around that?
I know a lot of people will say on their YouTube channels in the description, they will say you can use my music on your YouTube videos, but please credit me. The problem is that they don't always credit. Sometimes people will actually contact you first and say, can we use this? And then you can just say, yes, you can use it for free, but you must credit me and you must say this specific wording in the description of your YouTube video. So in that specific wording, you can put a link back to your YouTube channel or to that specific video. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish, but that's what I generally see people do, and that does work.
Right, and another follow-up question: can Marta see the analytics of the other channel? So what you just mentioned with the analytics on our own channel, can we ask for, or is there any way for us to see the other channel's analytics so we can change our tags or what keywords and whatnot?
Right. So I mean, you can always use vidIQ or TubeBuddy like we did today, you can go and look at any video on YouTube and see the description and the title and the tags and the search ranking results and everything. You can copy that. In terms of the actual detailed analytics, like how much money that video has made, or kind of, yeah, the more kind of detailed analytic kind of information, no, you can't see that. Potentially, if your distributor or MCN was monetizing that video for you, they may pass on some of that information to you in your royalty reports, but they don't always. I know that with our MCN, we do provide that information in our reports, but it's not live analytic information. It's available in the monthly reports that we send to our channels in their with their statements.
Right, so next question we've got by Ira, and she's asking about trackable links. Are they scaring people away because they don't know exactly where they lead? Like, what's the strategy around trackable links, like the smart URL you mentioned?
Right. Well, generally you want to say what that trackable link is. So, for example, with Pink Floyd, it'll say Pink Floyd social media links, and then it'll say Facebook, and then there's the smart URL, and it says, I think this is what we did. I think it says smart URL /PF Facebook, and then Twitter, and then it says smart URL /PF Twitter. And so I've never found anybody being scared of trackable links, just as long as you make it really clear on what it is that they're clicking on.
And personally, I've been using this service called Rebrandly. I'm going to post it in the comments.
Okay, I haven't heard of that. What is that?
So Rebrandly, you essentially buy a domain name, which might be your name but shorter, or your domain or your name dot link dot it, whatever, and then everything you create, you can assign a subdomain to that thing. For example, if you want to add your social media, you can use tommymusic.link /YouTube /Facebook, and then it takes you to the Facebook page. So essentially you're branding your own links into something that people will recognize, and you don't need to use the smart URL or Bitly or anything else. It's like URL shortener, but under your own brand.
Right.
And I think it's free.
And you can see like how many people clicked on it and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
okay.
You get analytics just like everybody.
And it's free.
It's free, yeah, there is plans, but I've used the free one, and
okay, interesting. I haven't heard of that.
Rebrandly.com, I've added in the comments.
Yeah, I generally try to find free things. People don't generally want to spend money, especially when they're starting out.
So, this is a question that I'm having as well, because I'll share my idea later. Hannah is asking, are there any legal issues we need to be aware of when posting, tagging, mentioning anyone in the comments, or even posting in our own channels? So I guess the hottest question is, what can we post in our own channels? And it's legal.
Right.
It's legal.
So to be clear, I think, you can post anything on YouTube because everybody does.
It's the internet. People just post anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's the internet. Now, whether you can monetize it or not is the other question. So if you're posting that includes covers, you could potentially not monetize it. But I mean, in terms of what you say in the title, description, tags, that doesn't really matter. I mean, it all matters based on how you're building up your branding and what you want people to do when they click on links or read the description and that kind of thing. But there's not any copyright issues with saying anything in the descriptions. I would be more concerned about YouTube, what's called their terms of service. So if you do anything that could be potentially malicious towards somebody else or slanderous, or even breaches terms in terms of saying things that are, not necessarily nice about particular I mean, you can get videos taken down that really cross the line in terms of being appropriate, in terms of for people under the age of 18, for children, being inappropriate in terms of saying bad things about particular religions or beliefs or things like that. So that's the only time where you get into areas where it could be really bad. But in terms of copyright, you can pretty much put anything you want up on YouTube.
Right, and it's a follow-up question. Is there any algorithm on YouTube that tracks if you've used somebody's animation or video content? Because I'm sure there is something about using other people's music.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is there anything that tracks other people's content?
Yeah. So both anytime you use anything that is owned by anyone else, YouTube will find it. So if you upload a clip from Lord of the Rings onto your video, YouTube will find it, and depending on what the rights owner wants, whether they want it blocked or monetized, they may monetize the video and allow you to keep it live, or they may block the video. So anytime you use anybody else's music, video, visual elements, anything, if you're using anything that you do not own, that you have not 100% created yourself, there's always going to be a risk that your video may be blocked or monetized by that other party.
Right. So another question about monetizing.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about any strategy when it comes to releasing remixes or covers or any other type of content where people use your own music or your own content in their channels. Is there a strategy that people can use to monetize other people's content, like fan videos or other artists' videos where they own the original content?
Right. So as I mentioned, in order for you to monetize when other people are uploading onto YouTube, you have to go through a distributor, a record label, or do you want that down? A distributor, a record label, or an MCN, in order to do that in the first place. So remember that you have to go through one of those parties, one of those companies, in order to do that. So once you've done that, in terms of a growth strategy of getting other people to use your content, yeah, there's lots of different ways. Again, like I mentioned earlier, you can run competitions, you can encourage people to do remixes of your music, you can encourage people to do covers. There's a lot of kind of what I call curation YouTube channels, in particular in electronic music. So I'm just trying to think. In the drum and bass arena, you have No Copyright Sounds. Sorry, not drum and bass, but you have No Copyright Sounds is a massive YouTube channel where basically what they do is they sign a track and you license it to them, and they monetize it on YouTube. But they don't monetize it on YouTube at all. Sorry, I got that mixed up. So they don't monetize on YouTube. All of their tracks are available for free usage on YouTube, in whatever way you want. The only time they charge money is if you want to use it for any other use outside of YouTube. And that's how they've built up their name, and that's how they make money. But they use YouTube as a promotional outlet, and then they make money through all the other uses of the music that are on it's a record label now, No Copyright Sounds, as a record label. And there's lots of other different kinds of curation channels out there where basically people say, okay, take my track, put it up on your YouTube channel so that I can get loads of views and get exposure. But you're not really monetizing with those channels. That's more of they're monetizing your content. You're basically licensing the track for them to monetize it on their YouTube channel. But you're getting the promo, so that's the kind of trade-off. But there's lots of them. There's Alex Rainbird is a big one for indie music, indie acoustic kind of music. There's many of them out there, so you can kind of look around and see if there's any out there. And a lot of them will say, oh, contact us on this email address if you want to pitch music to us. And yeah, some of them are really backed up, and some of them are really accepting of music. So it's up to you on what kind of strategy you want to work with those kind of curation channels. Right,
and follow-up question I forgot to ask you beforehand. So you talked about using any kind of content on your videos because there is no issue if you don't monetize directly the videos.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you use any kind of videos? I take somebody's video and I do whatever I want with it. I create a compilation, it's available for free, not monetized. But then if I add links to the description where I sell something, is this illegal?
What are you selling?
Because I'm selling t-shirts, I'm selling merch, I'm selling my own music. But
Yeah.
I'm using the traffic that I've created by curating other people's content into getting traffic to my own link.
Right, right. So that's misleading. So that's not really a breach of, basically you're advertising something that's not actually yours.
Right. So if I have a channel where I create and then I add support my video, support my channel on Patreon, is that something that could be flagged?
Yeah, it could be because it's not your own content.
Okay. Got it? All right.
Yeah.
That
I know
was a
that
question.
you're mixing content together but because the original work is not your content, then that could potentially be a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of, so Deborah, who is here in the chat, pre-submitted this question. So in terms of getting content up and running smoothly and faster, are there any ways to be more productive in terms of creating content more and more so people can be uploading content more often?
Yeah. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, like if you did think of your YouTube channel as a like a TV channel, like you're producing a series or like a whole season potentially of videos, so you can actually sit down and film if you're going to do let's say you're going to do acoustic versions of your EP and you have 6 tracks. You can sit down and film all of them at one point in time, and then you just edit them into 6 different videos, and then you upload them, and you can schedule them to go up one a week over a 6-week period. And that's really easy. That's one of the best ways to do it. And also when you're filming like an official music video, and if it's a really big production, like you want to have additional content. So like leave the camera on, like just leave it running the whole time, and you'll pick up some really interesting stuff and talking to people, and you could create a lot of additional content just by doing that.
Great. And another question by Sebastian, who is now in the chat. He's asking, we talked about different ways to create interesting content, and you also talked about the trends. So in general, are there any rules about creating interesting content that will work for sure?
Nope. If there were, then everybody would do it. You know, there is no rule. Really, it's really about you coming up with what matters to you. Like if it's fake, people are gonna tell. People are gonna tell when you're just doing something that, you know, that your heart isn't in it. Like do things that you care about. Talk about things that you care about. And by talking about things that you care about, potentially you will find your own kind of tribe or your own fan base or following that will also care about that thing.
Right, and I have a lot of questions about monetizing content. But then earlier you told me something about it. Would you like to share?
Yeah, so I know. I'm happy to answer any questions about monetizing, but I didn't talk about any of that stuff today because really the main thing you need to focus on when you're starting out is just getting the views. If you have no views, then you make no money. And really you're not going to make very much money until you get at least 500,000 views. I mean, you'll probably get about roughly $100 for 500,000 views, maybe even just $100 for 1,000,000 views. It really depends on where your views are coming from. But like, it's good to make sure that you have the monetization. Like I've said about everything on your YouTube channel, it's good to have the foundation set up. Like, yeah, make sure that you're monetizing, make sure that you understand what you're doing, but beyond that, like, don't worry about it. Like, worry about getting the views, worry about getting the fan base built. Because the money will come later. You're not going to make loads of money in the first video that you upload. Like I've worked with a lot of musicians. A lot of them have been very disappointed because they didn't get masses or millions of views in the first month. Like it just does not work that way. There's so many YouTube channels that did not start making money until years into building their YouTube channel following. And many of the big YouTubers that you see today, they literally didn't even start making money from their YouTube channel as a living until at least year 2, if not year 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, it literally takes lots of time before they actually build up their channel. So just bear that in mind. Happy to answer questions about monetizing, but you really need to bear in mind that that should not be your main focus when you're starting out.
Right, so here's a question by Jackie that's submitted before the masterclass, and talking about live streaming on YouTube. So right now we're live streaming on YouTube,
Yeah.
but it's going to be a private video. Are there any interesting ways on how to best broadcast and increase following through live streaming? We talked yesterday about it on Facebook.
In terms of growing your following on, well, I mean, not really, not with YouTube, not really. I mean, you can tell people, you can schedule the video in advance and tell people in advance that it's going to happen so that you make sure that people know. Don't just go live and then say, hey guys, and then, expect lots of people to show up when they didn't know that you were going to live stream. So let everybody know that you're going to be live streaming on YouTube in advance. That's really important. There's any kind of live streamed videos show up on the live stream page. So if you go to youtube.com/live, literally it lists like all the videos that are live streaming. So you could appear there potentially if you're getting enough views on your video as you're live streaming. So yeah, other than the other tips that I've talked about in terms of optimizing, like you should still do that same thing for your live streamed videos too.
Right, here's a follow-up question by Eleni, who is thinking, she is taking, and she will create this online radio. And there is more and more, at least in my feed, online radios, live streamed radios, 24/7 with certain type of music coming up. How can she create a great strategy, or how can she set up this live stream thing 24/7?
I don't know. That's 24/7 is a lot. I mean, you need a team if you're gonna do 24/7. You can't do that on your own. So sorry, what was the question exactly?
Yeah, about setting up a live streaming feature on YouTube as an online radio.
Oh, so she wants to set up a 24/7 live stream on YouTube. Is that what it is? Right. Interesting. You can actually pre-schedule things for YouTube live streaming, so you should probably do that. That would be your best bet. Yeah, if you look at, there's quite a few different kind of like live streaming for DJ sets and things like that are available online. They kind of follow a similar pattern, so you can reuse content as well if you're just starting out. So I don't know. I don't know if 24/7 is the best strategy, to be honest. I mean, nobody's gonna watch you 24/7.
What if it's just music?
Yeah, I know.
Like an online radio.
I know. I would prefer to see you start out with like a weekly, like live stream for an hour maybe. I mean, I don't know what kind of what genre the music is, but like if it's electronic music, like an hour-long set. If it's acoustic, then maybe even just a few songs. It kind of depends on the video, or sorry, it depends on the genre. But start out weekly. Like 24/7 is a massive like undertaking, and I think you would find out very quickly like it's not necessarily achievable unless you have a really big team to help you and support you. So I would say start out with even doing weekly kind of like live streams can be a big handful. So maybe start there and see how that goes, and if that goes, you can increase it. If it doesn't go very well, you can decrease it to every other week or once a month or something like that. But you need to kind of find the right timing for you to start out with, at least. But I personally, I would say 24/7 is too much.
Right. Here's an interesting question. how do I avoid creating sucky content?
Yeah, I actually, who was it? The last time I ran a workshop, there was a guy who pointed out, and he said, I tweeted a link for my latest video on Twitter, but then it got no likes and like nobody retweeted it or anything. But then this other guy tweeted this junk that was just like lots of emojis and was commenting about, I don't know, it was like something in politics or something, and that got masses of retweets. Like, how can I compete against that? Like, it's a valid question. I think the first thing is about making content that you actually care about. Like, don't force yourself to make content. And I would also say that that's why I think finding the being consistent and finding the consistency that works for you is the most important thing. So maybe it's just once a month. Maybe you only need to do a video once a month. If you're really not creative in terms of like visual content, because YouTube is obviously a very visual platform, it might be a case where maybe you have a friend who's really good at visual content and they can make some visual content with your music, and then you can use that for your YouTube channel. So don't make anything that you don't want to make in the first place. Like, don't force yourself to make vlogs. If you're not a vlogger, don't make vlogs. Make content that you actually think people will like and that you like as well.
What about using cats in the videos?
Yeah,
What's
cats.
the best way?
What's the best way to use cats? Oh, that's hilarious. I don't know. I think you'll have to find the best way for you to use a cat. It depends on what you're doing.
So you're saying that people should be creating a lot of content, and this way they can find out what works and what their audience wants, and they can be checking analytics to improve, to enhance the experience, to improve what they're doing and what they're posting. So the best way to find out personally is to just create content and upload it.
Yeah, try it. I mean, you have to kind of try it out at first and experiment with it. And just to correct you, Tommy, I didn't say you have to create a lot of content. It's about creating content that works best for you. So, like I
consistently.
said, yeah, consistently. Yeah.
So consistent content is better than a lot of content.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Right. Is there any reason for that? Is there any reason the algorithm is favoring consistency?
And make sure that it's uploaded on the same day. So if you're doing it monthly, make sure it's on the same day at the same time every month. If you're doing it weekly, make sure it's at the same time every day each week. So Tuesday at 9 p.m., every Tuesday at 9 p.m. You can even put it, a lot of people in their YouTube channel banners, they say, new video on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. BST, or, you know, whatever the time zone is. That is the best way to get people to come back and watch your videos again when they know when it's going to be uploaded.
Right, they're treating their channel like a TV channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay. So I guess now we're just we've covered every question about the frequency. People are asking what's the frequency. So you're saying is no matter what the frequency is, we're talking about consistency. Just make sure it's consistent.
Definitely.
Great. Okay. Right, okay. So here's another great question. I have this question myself. What about getting featured in the homepage of YouTube? Everybody has a personalized feed. Is there any way that YouTube can actually feature you? I know that I'm listening to a lot of Depeche Mode songs. So now YouTube sends me like, hey, here's Depeche Mode content. Is there any way for somebody to be featured on?
Not anymore. YouTube used to have a person creating each country's front page, but they don't do that anymore. It's literally all based off of your that user's personal watch history and their watch behavior with what is recommended on the front page. That said, if you want to buy an ad, you can always buy an ad and then you can pay the money to have it featured there. You can do that, but that costs money. Right.
And so how can people create content that will end up being in the recommended section? Is there any does it relate with the keywords?
Yeah, it has everything we've talked about today. 100% has to do with what shows up in the recommended section when you're watching your videos on YouTube. So everything we talked about will apply for showing up in recommended.
Right. And in general, turning a viewer into a subscriber, what's the best way?
Ask.
Right.
Yeah, you want to ask them. So you can use so YouTube. I used to say you can use annotations, but they're degrading annotations soon. They're getting rid of annotations. But you can use what are called YouTube cards. That's in the features on every single video, and you can have a card that pops up at some point and says, "Click here to subscribe." Ask them to subscribe in the description. Everybody should do that. It should be as standard every time you write a description for a video. Put a link to get people to subscribe to their to the channel. Yes, the best way to get people to subscribe is to ask them.
Great. Okay, so this one I love it particularly. So YouTube is becoming very distracting. You know, it hooks people in as an experience, makes them, click on more videos. Somebody's asking, how can she make the type of videos that are addictive, so people can watch them again and again, or keep consuming more of that content?
Addictive? I mean, again, it has to do with whether you're creating content or creating music or even creating videos that resonates with people. So, I mean, you could almost say, like, is it going to be sticky? Like, are people going to... Is it more about getting people to continue watching it, like, one after the other? Or, I mean, going back to this sort of, like, pretend like you're running a TV channel example, like you can, if you're doing a vlog, you can always say at the end of the vlog, oh, and make sure if you want to hear the answer to this question, watch the next week's video, or
create
something like that. Yeah, create a cliffhanger. Yeah, I mean, there isn't really one way. Again, if everybody knew how to make content like sticky in that way, or addictive, like, then everybody would do it. So it's kind of finding the best way that works best for you, really.
Right. So yeah, we talked about the video content. There was a lot of questions about that. So I think you've just knocked out half of the questions that have been submitted beforehand by having this brainstorming exercise. Now, okay, so this is a question that I really like. It's by Royce, who must be in the chat right now, and he's asking about what's the best way to to collaborate and take advantage of other channels with large followings. Do you just reach out to them?
Yeah.
How does this work?
Yeah.
Like, what's the step-by-step method of?
There isn't really a step-by-step. I mean, if I've actually connected people to collaborate who knew about each other, but they never, like, talked. Sometimes if you're just a big enough fan of that particular channel, like if that person has commented or replied to your comments, that's one way of getting in. Sometimes just sending them a really nice email works. There's not really one way to do it. But what I would say, I just realized I forgot to mention before, is that when you do a collaboration, make sure you do 2 different videos. So if you're collaborating with another musician, do a song together, but then do a different song together, and then one video goes up on one channel, the other video goes up on the other channel, and that way both fan bases are getting something different, and then when they go to your channel, they see the other video with the other artists, and they say, oh, that's really similar, but it's a different song. So make sure that you do 2 videos when you collaborate.
Right, and in terms of promoting, paying ads to promote your videos, and Takis is asking right now, is it worth it? Does it work? Like, Facebook advertising does work really well. People can get results if they know how to do it right. What about video advertising? Does it work? Should people spend money on promoting?
It does. I mean, I would probably say try it out and see how it goes. If it doesn't work, then don't do it. If it does work, then great, keep doing it. Yeah, I mean, I do know people that do it regularly, and then I know people who never do it. So it kind of depends on who you're trying to reach and what kind of message you're trying to communicate.
Is there a person, I don't know, is there any ad platform on YouTube just like Facebook?
So all of the ads are run through Google AdWords,
Right.
because YouTube is owned by Google, and so you go into Google AdWords where you can buy ads on Google, but there's also a specific section for buying ads on YouTube there too.
Right, and I guess since we've already knocked out most of the questions, I'm gonna go. Except if you have more questions, just keep them coming. But I guess the last thing we're gonna address is next steps. So you've given a few exercises. You've given a detailed breakdown of the keywords and what people should be doing to monitor them and get more visibility. Now, somebody has a video, a YouTube channel, and they don't have a lot of views and they don't have a lot of subscribers. So what should be, according to you, their next steps to create some kind of mini strategy to begin with? What are the mandatory steps according to you?
Yeah, well, everything we've gone through today, and then going back and doing them again. So updating your keywords again, and then going back and saying, okay, where has my video been promoted? Where else can I promote it? You can never tell too many people about a video. It's a pretty key rule of thumb.
Perfect. Okay, are there any templates that people can be using for strategy to monitor their views and the keywords, or anything that you would suggest?
I use a checklist. There's kind of a general checklist, but pretty much what I've said today can be used as a checklist.
Right.
Just going through every time I get a new video, I go through the checklist. I say description, title, description, keywords, thumbnail, is it monetized? Does it have cards? Do I need to put an end card on it? I kind of go through all of the different settings and just double check. Have I playlisted it? Has it been featured on the channel? Like, there's a kind of, general checklist of just going through everything and just making sure, okay, sometimes you don't need to do everything. Sometimes it can be overkill. So I just kind of have it's more of a checklist rather than a template.
Right. There was something interesting that I saw, and then at the end, since you have no more questions, I'm gonna ask something personal about my next strategy on YouTube. So first, this question. So I saw this person having a live stream Q&A on Facebook, and he had this weird thing on the right side of the screen. There were the YouTube comments that people were leaving. So he was, everything you were writing, after a few seconds, they would show up on the screen. Do you know what kind of tools these things are? How he made it?
So wait, you were watching a Facebook live stream?
So it was a YouTube live stream, just like the one we're doing.
Yeah.
And the chat box was appearing on the right side of the screen. So this guy was on the left answering questions, and all of the comments were appearing on the right side.
Yeah.
And personally, I had no question, but I just wanted to see my name on the fucking screen.
Yeah.
So I just went there and typed a question and then showed up. Is there any tool that can do that?
So, I mean, with Facebook live stream, you can enable a chat box or you can disable it. So some people just don't even have it, but that's just a normal chat box, right?
But it did show up on the screen.
What do you mean it did?
So over there, so this is the YouTube video, you're there, and then this chat was on the screen.
Oh, it was showing up on his screen while he was live streaming it. Yeah, he was probably using some software. I don't know what software he was using though. Sorry.
Right.
But I'm sure he was using. There's all different kinds of like live streaming software that you can use.
Right, and finally, so if there's no more questions, I mean, if you have questions, just type them. That's your last chance. So personally, what I'm gonna do, I'm creating this new type of music. It's a hybrid between Depeche Mode and Greek traditional music.
Okay.
So it's folky, but also synth new wave.
Yeah.
Right? So there's two different areas that I can exploit. Now, my question is, nobody knows this type of music. Nobody knows my new band. So I'm totally unknown, starting from scratch, different name, different channel. So, would you suggest that first I start as posting individual tracks, so like 3 minute tracks, or should I create music and post like a half an hour list, like half an hour video with all the tracks one after the other that people can enjoy just by clicking, and then tag them without having specific names but the description of the music, like 30 minutes of folk new wave or 30 minutes of this.
Okay. So let me ask.
Should I brand it as the type of music? Like here's some music, doesn't you don't need to care about the artist, or here's individual tracks by this artist.
You can do it both ways. So my question back to you is, are people going to be searching for 30 minutes of folk new wave? Like, is that going to be a keyword that people are going to be searching in?
Right, so I need to search to see if people are already looking for that.
Yeah, see what people are searching for. Like, I mean, I don't know if people are going to be searching for folk new wave, but they may be searching for 30 minutes of folk or 30 minutes of new wave, which people do.
Right.
So you can put those in as different keywords. So you could actually do both keywords. You could do 30 minutes of folk, one keyword. 30 minutes of 30 minutes of new wave, second keyword, and then see what happens.
Right, okay. Because definitely people are not going to be looking for my artist name because, well, nobody knows it.
Yeah.
Except for my mum. Mm-hmm. She likes it. Right, okay, so this way I'm optimizing my video without... I can include my artist name as well, but optimizing it basically for the style of music that people are already looking for. And I need to do a little bit of research to see what people...
Do the new stuff too, because again, you want to set that foundation where once people do start searching for your stuff, then you know 100% it's going to be the first thing ranking in search results, so they find you right away.
Right. Okay. Good. Well, you know what? We can create a case study around that. Yeah. How much time do you think it's going to take me if I put everything together to actually rank in the search results?
Do you mean actually rank?
Yeah.
You could probably do it.
First
5. So most people aim to be on the first page of search ranking results. It depends on the keyword, but I've been able to get stuff to rank within a month.
Within a month, okay.
Yeah.
Right. So a month. All right. I guess there's no more questions, so we need to... Okay, right, okay, there's one question that I couldn't see. Is it a good strategy to create playlists on YouTube to attract more people to your channel? And should the playlist songs be relevant to my channel's content? Using playlists?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when people are starting out and they don't really have very much video content, I actually recommend that they make playlists. And the playlist could be of music that you like, or music that is in a similar style that may be popular. You could even put together a playlist of your friends' music or other music that you've appeared on in the past. So it's kind of up to you, but do make sure that it is relevant. Definitely.
Right. Good. I think we're good to go. We had 10 more minutes and... Yeah, we had this break of 5 minutes, so we could have been talking for 15 more minutes, but I guess there's no other questions. That was probably that was packed with information, so you've covered everything. So, right, and that's your last chance, otherwise we're just greeting goodbye. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thanks guys. You were asking lots of really good questions, so good luck. Love to know what happens.
What's the best way for people to get in touch with you?
I'm on my website, so we're laikanetwork.com, LAIKA network.com. And there's a contact us form, and you can just say, hey, I attended Rebecca's masterclass, and the team will forward it to me. So yeah, or if you're interested in joining, you can also do the same thing. Join. You can contact us, send us your YouTube channel, and I'd be happy to have a look.
Right. Some comments are saying thank you, but I want to see some digital claps. So please, a round of digital applause. Okay. So Marta is saying, you are both so awesome. I'm not awesome. I didn't do anything. She is awesome.
Thank you.
We got Ira. Thanks, Rebecca. Dozens. Saleh. Thanks, Rebecca. Thank you. Taki says thank you. Okay, now we need to go on a nice pub dinner in London. Okay. I don't think so. Personally, I'm going out for holidays. Digital claps. All right, Deborah. Thank you for the claps.
Cool.
This can you guys just post your takeaways? Just post one takeaway that you have, so we can wrap up this way on a positive note. Just type one thing that you remember the most, striking thing. Clapping, okay. Great. So yeah, I guess we got people from Ukraine. We got people from the Emirates, from Greece, from London. Marta is in California. Just waiting for your takeaways. So are you working right now with an exciting artist that we should be looking for?
What is it? A lot of things have wrapped up recently. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen next year yet. But yeah, I'm sure there will be lots of things. Sorry, I can't think of anybody specifically. Or anything.
Great.
Yeah.
Hannah also says thank you. That's Marta's takeaway, that I can do
I can
this.
do this, yeah.
Yeah, and the vidIQ thing, and using the video thing, the vidIQ to tweak the YouTube tags and get more traffic, the tags and the analytics.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a very specific area that you focused on, and you broke it down to the core. So the keywords, yeah, I guess this is the main takeaway. Just take care of your keywords, people.
Yeah.
Great. Any famous last words before we say goodbye?
No, just
You're famous, just say your last words.
Thanks, guys. You've all been really great, so thank you and good luck.
Cheers. And for everybody else watching the recording version of this video, yeah, make sure you get in touch with me. It's going to be tommy@whiise.com, and let me know what you've learned. Let me know your takeaways. I'm going to get in touch with you as well. Thank you for being here. Just called a 2-channel amp. Gonna go acoustic. Okay, very practical. Great. All right.
Cool.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great day.